their teammates topped off at 100%, but sometimes it's okay to leave your teammate at like, did your Lucio just go in their backline and use beat? Wonderful. I gotta double check what had happened here. Alright, so, in today's video, we're going to be watching a Diamond Mercy. This is one of these games where you ever have a teammate that you feel like just isn't really helping heal or helping your team. According to this support player, that's what's happening. They have a support that's just not playing with the team, going for backline of limb, so we're going to find out what happens. Also, let me know in the comments some heroes and maps you would like to see in the spectating series. Obviously, we've done a lot of them, but sometimes we get a lot of the same maps, so let me know. Hope you all enjoy. And let's see what happens. Because we said we have apparently the Lucio likes to play very, very aggressive. And I've talked about it before. The Mercy Lucio comp can be a tough comp to heal up a lot. And especially this season, where the 20% healing reduction is making it a little bit more difficult for Mercy to be able to keep the tank alive. And as you can see already, there's a Lucio in the back line. Getting the limbs. And that's kind of what happens here is the Lucio plays very aggressive. And not like timely aggressive. Obviously, there's some really good Lucios who play aggro, but that Lucio, it just seems to want to keep going in over and over again, and that probably becomes where the problem is. But so far, so good. Everybody's kind of popping off. I can see you're worried about trying to heal everybody at once. I think at a certain point, it's like, you just stick with your Pharah. Eventually, like, your Rhine will be able to be lower for a little bit, but I will say, trying to essentially solo heal this the majority of the time will be difficult. Because there's so much more now, more HP to heal, 20% healing reduction, so Mercy's not able to keep the tank up as much as previous seasons. Because I do know that in some ranks, Mercy does end up being a lot of the tank heal. Just based off of certain situations. Some ranks, Mercy will be more about, like, you know, damage boost to the soldier, flying around with the Pharah, like, working together. Some ranks you see a little bit more on the tank, which can be fine. The problem is when you have somebody on your team who's playing a little bit more about that aggressive backline style, which actually, they're probably playing it fairly well. It's just sometimes, and keep in mind, Lucio is better now. It's just sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to get anything going if you get stuck on the heels. And this is kind of where I do see you did play some Kiriko too. My recommendation to you is that if you can already tell your Lucio is going to play this way, and I've kind of had this, like, discussion with chat of, like, play at the pace of how your teammates are sometimes. If you're recognizing your Lucio has no desire to heal your team or peel back or help you, then you just go Kiriko. You can keep the Valk if you want to, but I think the first opportunity you have to go Kiriko would be a good opportunity. Not because you're playing Mercy bad, it's just because there's a bit of a... Like I said, your Lucio's just going in. Oh, speaking of going in, what in the... I understand what you were going for, but you could have done this at a different time. I'd be wary of that one. I would be wary of that one. Good movement, by the way. That was nice. I like that. It's so funny because, like, I always talk about when you play Mercy, one of the largest things that you can see is such good movement from Mercy, and I see it a lot in top 500 games where, like, some of these Mercies, the movement they have is like, you think you have them, and the next thing you know, they slingshot across the map, and you go, yep, they survived with 5 HP. And by the way, great swap to Kiriko now. Good job recognizing that more than likely your teammate isn't going to be able to... Little bit of a pause here, by the way. Kiriko's. If you're playing Kiriko, Swift step into your teammate is okay in some situations, but if you hear a Soldier 76 ulting and you see your Reinhardt charging away, that is not a go to your Reinhardt moment until they're in a safer spot. You're lucky you survived that one there, but, like, also your Rein's not making it easy on you either. There's a bubble in front of you. Yeah, good luck. I think your Rein might survive. Actually, your Lucio's helping there. UGMP. By the way, I don't mind that cleanse right there, because what you're trying to do is just catch up on heal, so when you use that cleanse, you're just basically trying to give your teammates the opportunity to be able to kind of catch up on heals. Sometimes there's discussion about when you should use Suzu. I'm okay with that one. Obviously, you weren't able to get to the point. People wondering about if we're going to play the song there. I wouldn't be playing the song there. That was a tough one to begin with. Good job using Swift Step. Don't have to cleanse. I want to point something out sometimes with cleanse. There becomes this tendency of, like, hello? They just purpled my teammate, let me cleanse. If no one's on them, sometimes it's really, really smart to save that cleanse. Because what happens is, and this is a call out you'll hear in some of my ranked games, I'm going to throw on a grenade at them to force out cleanse. If their team can't follow up within like a half of a second of that, maybe a second max, save your cleanse. Because a lot of the time they're trying to bait out your cleanse to make the next play. So if somebody can just throw an on a grenade to get out your cleanse, you're going to get rolled so many times by just cleansing the immediate purple. It doesn't mean don't cleanse a purple. It means, and as you see, a Farah gets value there. It means try to time it to an extent of like, will it work in this situation? Do I need to do it now? Get in that habit, you'll be in a good spot. Your teammates did a good job countering, which was wonderful to see. And now you go back to the point. But that's just something I want to get you in the habit of, because I feel like Kirikos will do that sometimes, including myself. If you ever see me off-rolling, I'm sure I occasionally... I mean, actually, I'm going to be real with you. I just like hitting the Suzu button because it's such a fun ability. I don't know why, but like if there's 3 people in front of me and they're like 80% HP, I'll randomly use it. I don't recommend it. It's just fun to see the interaction. I don't know why. All right, let's keep it going. By the way, this support line you have is much better for your team, too. I will say, your Lucio is playing a little bit more with your team now, I will say. Aggro, too, but like they're definitely falling back a bit more to peel. So I don't know if there was a discussion in your chat, but I'm definitely seeing a bit of a shift in the playstyle at this point. Kitsune. I want to see a Kitsune ASAP. If you don't, there you go. I would have Kitsune a little bit sooner. I don't think you get caught in that situation having to use your cleanse, but it worked out. That's an ambitious cleanse. Sometimes if your teammate's low on HP, you can still catch up a little bit on the heals, especially when their team is kind of like on their back foot, like as you're seeing right now. Understood. You want me to give you a bit of a hot take? The Lucio's not playing too bad. I'm not saying they're making it easy on you. Okay, listen. Lucio, I was just sitting here saying that you were playing that fairly well, like being able to get in, and then you do that. Come on! That couldn't have been perfectly timed more than it just was. I was like, oh, you know what? Bit of a hot take. Yeah, now it's a hot take because I just watched them go to their spawn and get slept there. You're not going to be able to keep them up. 20%. Get out. Get out. Just, nope. Yep, nope. Teammates, you can teleport to teammates. Don't teleport to your Lucio, but you can teleport to your team. Going high ground's fine, too. Lucio got rolled again. Good job TPing into your team. What else do you have coming up? You have a Shatter, big slam time on this Winston. I'm not even worried about the late Suzu there. I think your teammate should have ulted way sooner. Your teammates are stacking ultimates when they don't need to stack ultimates. You may actually get rolled right here. I think your Lucio just tried wall riding and then fell off the map. I now have to see what happened. Big slam! Wait a second. No, too late. I think what happened is the Lucio was trying to survive on the outside of the map here, and then they got booped off. But I'm curious. Like, it wasn't on purpose. I just want to see. Yep. Oh, wow. That's what happened. Wait. Oh, they almost had it. Honestly, good play by the Winston. Anyway, yeah, your team was gonna struggle a little bit more there, and then obviously they captured the point. Yeah, that's one of those situations where, like, I feel like players really want to hold on to their ultimates, but then you also have to recognize the situation. I would rather win a team fight using all of my ultimates than just give up the point and not get any value out of my ults. And that's one of those situations where sometimes you can make that call, like, hey, we need to use our ultimates here, we need to make a play. Whether or not they listen, it's still okay to get in the habit of, like, we need to get our team to use our ults. If we don't, we will lose this. And then, obviously, there's more to this game, and your team does a fairly good job, but... I love how the moment I said your Lucio was, like, surviving and making plays, they've gone in and fed immediately. Like, they heard us. They were like, are you saying I was playing that fairly well for a bit? Well, let me show you. Little side note. In spectating a while ago, I talked about how, like, I don't see holds happen here often. One thing that I started to watch a little bit more is recognizing that if you play a mobile tank hero, if you can get corner control right here, not pushed in, not pushed past, but if you can control this corner as a tank, you can take about a minute off that clock because you have the ability to survive with your teammates and back up. As Diva, I play here a lot until I have to get out of there, but, like, I've spent, like, 2, sometimes 3 minutes here in top 500 games just playing this corner, not playing past, not playing over here. To show you what I mean, just so I can get it clear, I have the draw thing here. See this area right here? This area. Also, I don't know why it does that. Sometimes the green screen does that, but this whole area here, not up here. Okay? See this area right here? Not there where I just went. I don't know why it connects like that or does that. I got to figure that out. But that area is what I'm referencing. Not pushing past that. Because you have good cover. You have good angles for your teammates to be able to help you. That was a quick side note on that one. Here we go. Here we go. Yep. That's called the teleport into your teammates and just hope for the best. Didn't go well, but I mean, maybe it did. You get a couple picks here, your team's going to be able to hold that. Like, they won't be able to stay there long enough. You get time to teleport in again randomly. You can probably teleport to your Reaper. Your Reaper's in a safe spot. I guess your Doom is now, too. That was interesting interaction. Heal up your team. Heal up your team. We're watching. Bastion's doing okay on cart. Your Lucio's in their backline getting rolled. You know what? I should have mentioned the Lucio was playing well. Ever since then, they're like, you know what? What do you mean by that? I gotta get the double-digit deaths by the halfway through halftime. Yep. Okay, well now they're at the yep. At least you're on Kiriko now, though, so you have a little bit more opportunity to heal. Honestly, if your Bastion gets mad at you for not healing there, that's more in your Bastion than anything else. I know you could have Suzu'd them, but, like, you can Suzu there. Yeah. I know that's not the best Suzu, but, like, that's on your Bastion. If your Bastion wide peaks, especially now with where the hitboxes are with projectile sizes, it's more than likely they're going to get damage on them to begin with, so they need to be really wary of that. I'm going to be real with you. I don't mind the Kitsune. I know it's not in the ideal range, and you probably could have waited a little bit better. But you're just trying to get your team some space creation. And sometimes you just gotta hit your buttons. Sometimes you just have to hit your buttons. Sometimes the alt domino is a necessity. Alright. We're watching, you're pushing cart. Heal up the Bastion. There's somebody behind you, by the way. That's where your damage output's coming from. Don't be afraid to do some damage here, by the way, too. You actually, I will say, you have been healing a lot more. You've had a few opportunities. I have to sneeze. I have to sneeze, but I can't sneeze. This is great. All right, let's head back here. Don't be afraid to go in with your Reaper there and just save them. Like it's. Those are the plays that help. It goes back to a VOD I watched recently where I was telling the Diva to defense matrix their team. Sometimes that becomes your tank. You know, enable your Reaper to pop off. I want to see a little bit more damage output from you now, though. I think you're worried a little bit too much about how much damage is happening. When I think in reality, as Kiriko, your damage output is actually super underrated. Or maybe it's not underrated anymore. That's a fine cleanse. Maybe not so much anymore. Because, like, you hit one headshot as Kiriko, and, like, that is already, like, an advantage for your team. I think sometimes players are a little bit too afraid to do that damage output, and they want to keep their teammates topped off at 100%, but sometimes it's okay to leave your teammate at, like, did your Lucio just go in their backline and use beat? Wonderful. I gotta double check what had happened here, just because I'm curious. What a play by the Ashe! That was amazing. So the Ashe boops off the Lucio in the air and then gets them before that. That's a good combo. That's a 1-2 combo right there. Also, I have no idea what your Lucio was doing. That timing of talking about Lucio's playstyle, it was amazing because that Lucio has gone from playing fairly well to doing exactly what they're doing. And keep in mind, as Lucio, it's fine to play aggressive and stuff. It's just timing it correctly. Like, really good players will do that, and you see that. There's some really good, like, Lucios do that. Pushing the card's fine here. Your Lucio can... That's on your Lucio. If your Lucio's getting mad at you for not going in there and healing them, then that's a whole different problem. Just keep pushing the cart. You're fine. I would recommend to keep pushing the cart. And I would now... Yeah, you're good. That was one of those, like, you had to make a decision that could have went either way there, but I think that was totally fine. Remember, lead with your shots. It's on hit scan, it's projectile. Projectiles where you lead with your shots. You know, projectile heroes all have, like, different speeds of their projectiles, so some, like, if you're playing Genji, the way you lead might be a little bit different than the way you lead with, like, Kiriko, for example. But that's just kind of an example I'm trying to make. I don't mind you going for the save there, because you have the off angle here, or the angle to survive. I want you to use your Kitsune fairly quickly here, though. I don't want you to give the other team time to set up and be prepared for the third point. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you again. If your Reaper does that, that is a play by your Reaper to make a play, not to trade. I say you teleport in there and Suzu them, okay? That Reaper, this team fight can go way differently if you do that. Instead, they get the free pick. Those are the plays where, like, players will start to see the Reaper getting low and will commit to staying in there a lot longer. And when they do that, right, that's where you're able to follow up and get a bunch of limbs with the Reaper. Oh, good luck. Remember, you're wasting Suzu a bit, so you're not going to have it in situations like that. Oh, that's more of a timed-based one, so. I was going to say, it's okay if you want to teleport to your Doom. Heck it. This is all fine. This is just building L-Charge anyway. You either win a team fight off of a really cool play. Teleport out now. Nice. Good play there. By the way, good usage of your Swift Step right there. Win or lose this team fight, that was a wonderful usage of your Swift Step. If you can make plays happen in situations where let's say you're going to lose, you're in a good spot. Okay, here we go. Yep, you can climb up this high ground. You can also go to the bridge this way, too. A little bit of a side note for anybody, any of the heroes with mobility. You can go up over this, by the way. If you have mobility, you can go up over here and then get behind them on the bridge. Sometimes this is a really good flank spot that a lot of players in some ranks aren't really looking for. So don't be afraid to, like, if you have mobility, to go up here and go around and then make a play. You can even go up here with Soldier 76 if you want to, if you can Helix Rocket. So there's some plays you can do that are really cool. Don't be afraid to do that. There's also another spot that I wouldn't recommend, but it's fun to play at, which is right above where the Ramattra is right now. And across where the sign is, unless they change that. No cleanse again. By the way, if you haven't noticed, as Kiriko, you need to start tracking your cleanses a little bit more. Or the ultimates on the other team, because it's easier to make a decision on cleanse. Yep. That's one of those, I try to cleanse my teammates. This is fine, you're just resetting. I mean, I still think you should go for a couple pop shots to the head there, because if you do that, you might be able to get to like 75% L charge, which, believe it or not, can be make or break in when you engage a team fight even earlier. I talk about that all the time. Find those, like, those availabilities and just find ways to make plays or to get L charge when you can, is what I mean. Don't cleanse yet. Now cleanse if we need to. I'm okay with the cleanse, you had to do that. Yep. I see what you're doing. Good job. Ping the Ana still. Ping the Ana still. Kitsune in 3, 2, 1. Kitsune for your teammate. Your teammate, your soldier benefits from this. Please. You need to do that sooner. You need to get full value with that. They would actually be down a little bit quicker because they're going to be doing so much more damage with that. Nice heals there. Your reaction there should be Kitsune the moment that happens. Looks like your team should be able to get this because you just have good. Yeah. Nice job. Okay, not the worst. I still think there's a lot of room for improvement for you to find damage output, but not bad so far. Obviously, with your Lucio playing the way you are, it's one of those situations where it's become like you're the only support that's really putting time into keeping your team alive. So it could certainly be difficult. Let's continue on and see what happens. I think for you as a Kiriko player, I think you just need to try to find more damage output, and also your cleanse usage has been pretty rough. And I'm not saying that, like, that can happen in Kiriko games. I just feel like sometimes you're using it almost on, like, is the ability cleansable? If so, I'm cleansing. And sometimes you don't have to look at it from that point of view all the time. Like right there. You don't need to cleanse that right away. There was just no reason to. Now you don't have a cleanse if you need it when the actual play is happening. Right? Now you don't have a cleanse. Now they're jumping down and going for you. Yeah, your teammates are going to... Oh, actually, no. Nice job there. Now you have cleansing. Actually, you might be able to... You're on the passive right now. Oh, I was going to say. They hecked up for a second because your passive kicked in. Damn, but do you see what I'm saying, though? You're in the current mindset of, if I can cleanse it, I'm going to cleanse it. I would say that 80% of your cleanses haven't been necessary right now. Doesn't mean you can't use them. I'm just saying that it feels like you're not using them to the best of your ability. Especially when you have a Lucio on your team who's playing like they are, your Suzu's become even more of a huge deal. And also, I also don't want to get in the mindset of never using Suzu. I just want you to kind of understand that you don't have to use it when they honor grenade you from 40 feet away and no one on their team can react. Is basically what I'm getting at. Good push for your team, though. Overtime spawns, longer spawns. Not bad. Your team alive. Kill your team. Don't hide. It's Suzu time. Yeah. I was gonna say, unfortunately, you have to use Suzu there, even though like, what else can you do? You had to use it, unfortunately. Okay, it's holdable. Can your team hold this and get the dub, even with your Lucio going aggressively? We will find out. Hey, your Ramacha's playing that corner. Not too bad. As long as they don't overextend, I'm okay with that. Your team's not on the same page, you can tell. By the way, I know what you're going for there. You need to go save your Junkrat and then also go to your Ramatra. Your decision was, do I save my Ramatra or save my Junkrat? You can do both there. Your Ramatra wasn't an immediate issue of taking damage and also has Nemesis form. So they have more survivability than you think. That's also just recognizing your tank's cooldowns and realizing they don't need the help right away. Like, your Ramatra's still alive, by the way. See your Ramatra, the one that you were worried about earlier? They're still up there. Point being is that there's opportunity to get both done there rather than just telling your teammate to come to you. All right, here we go. This is just a die on card situation, I think, unless you're... Yeah, this is tough. Damn. You're gonna have a retake, but like the problem is that you're gonna be down on ultimates. Like, the only way you can win this is if you can get back in time if you're a Ramatra and build ultimate, but like it's 3v5 on the cart at best. Maybe you get an extra person here. Yeah, there goes your Ramatra. I mean, I know why you're throwing that cleanse. You can't even get to the point. Yeah, so just to kind of go back on this one very quickly for you. Yes, your Lucio definitely made that difficult on your team. Keep in mind, it's okay to play that way. It's just, you got to have your timings. 2, I think you did a good job overall for having to do solo heal, but you definitely, in my opinion, can work on your Suzu usage 100%, your ability to do more damage, and recognizing you can kind of go back and forth between targets if you need to. I think you'll be fine. Obviously, a game like that can be tough, but I think there was definitely ways for you to win this game, straight up. I just think you need to find ways to time your Suzu usage better, because it ended up being tough and you lost a lot of team fights on the tail end of not having it. But yeah, overall, not bad. Obviously, you would like to get that dub, but I think that's where you can find a lot of room for improvement. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to all 3 YouTubes if you haven't, leave a comment. If you like the video, things you want to see, want to submit your own game, your own spectating, look in the description below. You'll see my Discord. That's where you do that. We record the majority of these live on stream. Believe it or not, we didn't do it with this one, but we record a lot on stream. So if you want to stop by the stream, we have a lot of fun there, play a lot of games, and record a lot of stuff. It's a good time. So stop by if you haven't. And with that being said, hope you have an amazing day/night.